Well, Fani Willis, she's all over the world right now, because she decided to go after Trump with a RICO. It was cool when she was hitting all the black people down in Fulton County with RICOs. But when she decided to go after a powerful man from the dominant society, all hell broke loose. Now we know Donald Trump has over 91 charges in different states, but right now all we're talking about is Fani Willis because Fani got beside herself and decided herself to go after Donald Trump, knowing she didn't have all her ducks in order. So now she's in court looking crazy. She's looking defiant. She's upset. She's on the verge of losing her career. She has black women just looking crazy all across America. But if you don't believe me, check her behavior in the courtroom.
Object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
And see, it's bad when Boyce Watkins comes against you. But he wasn't finished. Now he goes and he voices his opinion on her having a sexual relations and the fairness that a fair society that women has been asking for. So now her being a prosecutor, if she wants to have all the rights that men have, then guess what? You're going to get the same type of punishments that men have. And this is what Boyce was alluding to. Check this out.
Willis. Okay, so the other day I talked a little bit about Fani Willis. Give me a yes if you've been following Fani Willis in the case in Georgia, where she is the person responsible for prosecuting Donald Trump, and Fani pretty much got caught. They're kicking her in the fanny right now because basically they have evidence that she has an inappropriate relationship with a man named Nathan Wade. Nathan is the other prosecutor that's on the case with her. And the allegation, I believe, is that basically not only did she lie about the relationship, but also they're claiming that she might have gotten a kickback by basically taking money from the state, paying his salary, and then getting that money back when he took her on dates and things like that. That could be defined as a kickback, and that's kind of what the direction that they're going. So here's the deal, right? So I talked about this not too long ago, but I wanted to do a quick update on this because I think that there's something serious here. Now, remember yesterday, if you saw me talk about Fani yesterday, my conversation was centered around a basic idea. It was get out. I told you I don't understand why we have really intelligent black people who allow ourselves to be used in this Democrat, Republican, Crips and Bloods types of situation that exists in American politics. It's kind of crazy. I don't like it. So this was my personal opinion. This was my belief. This was me just saying, hey, Fani, hey, Nathan, look, you both are smart. Go start a law firm somewhere. Just get out this game. This is not a healthy game. This is not benefiting you or your community. This is just too much stress for too little reason. We talked about that.
And see, it's bad when Boyce Watkins comes against you. But he wasn't finished. Now he goes and he voices his opinion on her having a sexual relations and the fairness that a fair society that women has been asking for. So now her being a prosecutor, if she wants to have all the rights that men have, then guess what? You're going to get the same type of punishments that men have. And this is what Boyce was alluding to. Check this out.
Article, and I like to share thoughts with you guys as I see them. And I read this article by a law professor. His name, I had his name in front of me. I didn't. Be dang it. What is this guy's name? He's a law professor. I want to say it was Georgetown, Jonathan Turley. His name is Jonathan Turley. And I want to say he's a Georgetown. I'm bad. Forgive me. I don't have the notes in front of me. But this guy, Jonathan Turley, he broke down the allegations against Fani. And he says that these are very, very, very serious allegations. He said it went from being a problem to being something that could really mess you up. And I heard terms from criminal action, which seems to go into perjury, right? That basically, if you remember, Fani testified, when she did her testimony, and I know a lot of you supported her. Some of you supported her, some of you didn't. And a lot of you noticed that she was really defined, really up there, and some people were cheering that on. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I don't know if we need to always cheer on this whole angry black woman persona, but whatever. She's a good lawyer, and I'm not going to mess with that. But there was always that question of like, should she resign? That at one point, in my opinion, was the most serious question in this case. Should she be taken off the case or not? And that was the fight. Now I feel like with the release of phone records that show that Nathan Wade allegedly was at Fani's house many, many times before they claimed the relationship started. They went on the stand. Pay attention now. They went on the stand and said This relationship did not start until we started working together. That was what they said, so that I guess Fani wouldn't have the impression of having hired her boyfriend. But then they have these cell phone records where literally Nathan was at her house at 3 a.m, coming over at midnight, staying all night. I mean, y'all know what it is. Come on. I'm not saying it is or isn't. You can make your own judgment. I know some of you are going to get your feelings hurt because you want to believe one thing. And there are some people who don't listen to facts and information. They just have a belief and they stick with it. Trump supporters, extreme Trump supporters, believe Trump is a good guy and you can't talk them out of it. Extreme Biden supporters, they believe that this is all nonsense. And no matter what evidence is presented, they're going to have their belief. And that's fine. You have a right to. In fact, you should probably just go if you're not open-minded and looking at all information. But you know what it is. I mean, this guy went to her house. He said, I only went over a couple times. And this man was over there a lot, like the amount of times you would go to somebody's house if y'all was knocking boots.
And see, it's getting down to the point where she's in trouble because, like I said, the world cameras is watching. And they first tried to just discredit her, right, to get her off the Trump case. But now it's turning criminal, because it's getting to a point where she's done perjured herself in court. They trying to find traces how the money was spent, track the money. So now it's turning into something all too different, something totally different than what it initially started. But a lot of that is because of her attitude and her defiantness. But this is the way she's behaving in court.
Clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
See, so now she's rattled and turned upside down because you tried to play their game and think you're going to beat them at that game. That's how inflated her ego has got. Now it's to the point where they just pulling out all the guns, all the big guns. So now Fox News goes and brings up a former prosecutor where now she comes on and gives her opinion based off the facts of the case. Like, this woman has no chance. She's cooked, filleted and fast fooded. She's done. Listen to what Fox News is saying about this woman now, because now there's blood in the water.
Federal prosecutor and current defense attorney, and she joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. I like a good soap opera as much, I guess, as the next person does. But has defense counsel made the case for the disqualification of the prosecutors in your judgment?
Well, this is definitely a great soap opera, although it's very sad because there are defendants on the other side of this that have their lives hanging in the balance, essentially. So I think we can take a look at what the Supreme Court said in 1935 about prosecutors. And what they say is that a prosecutor may strike hard blows, but they are not at liberty to strike foul ones. And I think here, Fani Willis, along with Nathan Wade, is really on the verge of not only being disqualified from this case, but having this case dismissed with prejudice because of these new text message and digital communication revelations.
How do you view the standard? I mean, I a million years ago was a prosecutor. We ran from the potential for conflict. We didn't want the appearance of conflict. But if the standard is actual conflict for disqualification, but what does that look like? And how do you view the standard in Georgia?
When you have a senior prosecutor, a DA, who's actually bringing on an outside contract attorney with no experience or very little experience and paying them more than what other contract attorneys are being paid, and then seeming to get these benefits of some, personal vacations out of it, then you have to wonder whether there's an actual conflict, whether she's actually benefiting from the relationship because of his involvement in the case, and whether there's any sort of impact on the case itself. Now, in terms of the disqualification, I think that it was kind of a close call before we knew that the timeline of the relationship may very well have existed long before the indictments and the grand jury portion of this case were even occurring. So now that it seems to be evident that there's strong evidence that this relationship began way before they both claimed it did, and that's putting aside the perjury, there is a question about the genesis of the case altogether and the propriety of the case altogether. And the question for the judge is not only do I need new prosecutors on this case, do I actually have to get rid of this case altogether because the taint is essentially irreversible.
So in closing, if they look at Fani with equality in the same way they would look at a man, Fani's career is over. She'll be fired because Fani's still black. She'll be fired. She may lose her law license. Hopefully she doesn't. But let this be a lesson. And I keep telling you guys, man. All we got is us, man. We got to remember that we ain't got no friends in this battle, man. A lot of y'all achieve some type of success, and you forget all about your community, and you go over there with them. And I always tell you, you only got one time to mess up over there. They not gonna forgive you, and you're done. I mean, you know, she came in, guns blazing, putting RICOs on everybody, saying she was cleaning up the community. But there was a lot of people down there that was disgruntled with her because of what she did. I think that guy name was Paul Howard. And you know, she turned her back on her mentor. There was a lot of stuff that she was doing, and she had a lot of backing from the dominant society. But when you decided to go after Trump, man, everything got quiet. They all turned their back on you. And now you've been exposed for something that's usually routine that they do down south all the time and up north. Everybody's screwing each other. But now, you didn't have your ducks in order, and you was better off getting somebody else to go after Trump, and you just provide the information. Why would you try to do it yourself? Because you wanted the glory. Why would you try to be the one to prosecute? Why didn't you try to get somebody that looked more, that had the complexion for the protection, whatever, complexion for the protection, whatever you want to, like, why wouldn't you go get somebody else? And you played a role behind the scenes. Why did you want the limelight? Why did you want the glitz and the glamour? Knowing that they was going to destroy you, wear you out. And now you got a black man losing his whole career in the process. It's just crazy, man. This whole situation is crazy. And then again, in closing, like I said, she ain't showing disrespect to the dominant society community. She disrespecting the black community. The way she's carrying on the stand like that. Because she knows that we don't get judged as individuals. We get judged as a group. And look at the way she's behaving. The stereotypical angry black woman. When we know that that's not all black women. But she's actually fitting the criteria of all the stereotypes, man. But again, I'm going to cut this video short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Subscribe to Street Media TV, man. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.